Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my Backlash 2025 predictions for the 5 matches currently announced. And like normal, I am filming this many days in advance. Today is Wednesday, so there is still Friday Night SmackDown. But unfortunately, I am once again going to be going away right before the pay-per-view for like the third one in a row. So unfortunately, once again, we're going to have to film this a few days in advance, and we are also in a new setup for this video. We'll be back out on the table for the other setup. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get into these WWE 2025 Backlash predictions. The first match that we have is Dominic Mysterio versus Penta for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Now, this is not a match that I actually thought was going to happen. If you guys go back and watch my 2025 WrestleMania 41 predictions, I predicted Braun Breaker was going to retain. Now, obviously, Braun Breaker didn't retain, and he ended up going on to have something much better in the form of the alliance with Seth Rollins, who surprisingly isn't on this show, or at least not yet after the making of this video. I can't talk. But anyhow, so we got Dominic and Penta for the Intercontinental Championship. And unfortunately, as much as I love Penta and, I love just anybody coming into WWE and like getting an undefeated streak, like a clean undefeated streak, like he's losing to cheating. But I think, unfortunately, though, for Penta, this is going to be his first clean loss. I'm going to say Dominic Mysterio is going to beat Penta clean, or maybe not clean, but maybe like an accidental distraction from Finn Balor. Balor's out there yippee-yapping. Liv Morgan's out in Hollywood right now, so I don't think Liv Morgan's going to be there to interfere. But unfortunately for Penta, we have the rest of the Judgment Day, and this past Raw, it seems like Dominic and AJ Styles have just started a feud. So I do not think Dominic Mysterio is going to drop that belt anytime soon. And I think Penta is probably either going to get moved over to SmackDown, or Rey Fenix is going to get moved over to Raw, and the Lucha Brothers are going to be in WWE together very soon, especially if WWE claiming AAA. But anyhow, I guess that's going to be it there. I'm going to predict that Dominic Mysterio is going to retain the Intercontinental Championship. The next match that we have on the card, however, is the WWE United States title Fatal 4-Way match between LA Knight, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, and the United States Champion, Jacob Fatu. Now, if this is your first predictions video that you guys are watching on my channel, you guys know that Jacob Fatu doesn't have a real WWE figure yet, at least not until June, so we got about another month-ish here. But we got this guy right here as our honorary Jacob Fatu. But anyhow, though, let's actually get to the matchup. This matchup just kind of came out of nowhere. It's like these two, Damian and Drew, were feuding, and then Knight and Fatu were feuding, and they just kind of all put it together here. Well, I think this matchup's going to be great. WWE has been absolutely popping off with Fatal 4-Ways, whether it's been the women's title down in NXT at Vengeance Day, or just the Intercontinental title recently at WrestleMania. So I don't think this match is going to be anything but chaos, really. I mean, especially with Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre in the same ring, and then you throw in Jacob Fatu, and this is just going to go all over the place. Probably car wreck. But anyhow, though, let's go to get to the actual prediction of this matchup. We're going to go from most likely to least likely. And unfortunately, we're going to have to start out with LA Knight. I do not think that LA Knight is going to capitalize. I don't think he's going to become a 3-time United States champion, at least not tonight at Backlash. But at the end of the day, LA Knight is not going to walk out. Then we got Priest. I mean, Priest, he's whatever, but he's not walking out with the United States title either. I don't think Damian Priest is going to win a title anytime soon, unless it is, he's not going to go for Cena. But anyhow, though, so we're down to Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu, and Drew McIntyre has been doing great recently, just not as good as he was before. So I'm actually going to knock Drew down here, and we are going to say that Jacob Fatu is going to walk out still the United States champion. You know what he means, or whatever he says, I don't really know. But anyhow, though, Jacob Fatu, I think, is going to walk out as United States champion and probably hold that belt until Solo Sikoa inevitably turns on him, though. Next up, we have the Women's Intercontinental title. So 3 mid-card titles all being defended on a single pay-per-view. And the first time that a women's mid-card title is being defended on a pay-per-view, we got Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria, who unfortunately doesn't have an action figure. At least that I have. I know she got a basic release. I'll probably grab her Elite here pretty soon. But we do got our Becky Lynch figure right there. And this one is probably the hardest to predict. We got Becky Lynch here, Lyra Valkyria, Backlash. And I think the one deciding factor here is going to be Bayley, simply for the fact that Becky Lynch straight up mentioned Bayley probably 15, 16 times during the couple weeks in the promo. And the whole entire thing, the whole entire matchup is the reason why Becky turned on Lyra was because Lyra teamed with Bayley, which, makes sense. That's why Kevin Owens turned on Cody Rhodes. Triple H has been absolutely cooking with this long-term storytelling. But anyhow, though, I'm going to go with Lyra Valkyria. I think Lyra Valkyria is going to retain the Women's Intercontinental title over Becky Lynch. As much as I want Becky Lynch to do it, I'm a huge Becky Lynch fan. As much as I want her to walk out with the women's title, I don't think it's going to happen this time. I don't know if it's going to be at Clash of Champions, or I guess it's Night of Champions, or if it's going to be a Saturday night's main event. I think Becky's going to capitalize and win the title at some point, just not at Backlash. So yeah, my prediction for that match is going to be Lyra Valkyria. We then get to a matchup that you told me just a month ago, just a little bit after Elimination Chamber, that this match would be happening at Backlash. I would have laughed in your face and told you that you were crazy because of the fact that this match should have never happened. Gunther versus Pat McAfee. And Pat McAfee, he's had 2 other singles matches in WWE against Austin Theory and then Baron Corbin. Then he had a match of Adam Cole in NXT. He's been in War Games too, so it's not like Pat McAfee. We're not going to get some Michael Cole versus Jerry Lawler kind of stuff. But anyhow, though, we're going to go ahead and get into this prediction. Of course, it's going to be Gunther. If Pat McAfee wins, I know a lot of people that will be I know everyone. 101% of the people that are watching this video, more than that in the world, are not going to want Pat McAfee to win. I don't care how popular Pat McAfee is. I don't care if he's trying to be the everyday common person. He's not beating Gunther. Gunther is going to squash him in less than 7 minutes, and this match will be over. And then that's when either Goldberg or Brock Lesnar, no, probably not Brock Lesnar, someone is going to come out. I have a feeling that this is to set up for something bigger because of the fact that Gunther does not need to go for the world title again, especially while Jey Uso is champion. I think the next champion is Seth Rollins. Gunther does not need to be going for the world title, and he does not need to be in a feud with Pat McAfee. And could you imagine if I don't even want to bring it into the universe, but if they did Michael Cole versus Gunther, that would be absolutely terrible. But anyhow, no, this one's pretty obvious. I think Pat McAfee is going to be a bloody heap by the end of this and by the end of the actual match. And, when Gunther's leaving, I think then is whenever we get someone to come out. But yeah, so my prediction for this match, though, is going to be the Ring General Gunther. And now we get to the main event. Mr. 17-time John Cena versus St. Louis's own Randall Keith Orton. Randy Orton versus John Cena, supposedly for the last time ever for the WWE Championship. And wow, this match could really go either way. Obviously, John Cena, 90% chance he's not going to lose the title, but there's not saying that he won't still lose. And the reason I'm saying that is because I know a lot of people want the callback. They want Cena slapping the referee and to walk out for disqualification. But personally, as cool as that would be, and as cool, just the nostalgic pop for it, I don't think it's going to happen. WWE charges way too much for tickets. I don't think they're going to send people home. I don't care if Randy Orton's standing tall at the end with an RKO. They're not going to probably do that. If they do that, that's cool. But if they don't, I wouldn't be surprised. But anyhow, though, we have Cena, Orton, and to be honest, there's a 10% chance that Orton walks out of St. Louis with the WWE title. Cena's already done 17 times. He doesn't need to go on this long run. I know that's what they want, though, and I know that's probably what they're going to go ahead and do, though, which is why, for my final prediction, I'm going to go with John Cena, but they're going to do something, whether that, and as long as Travis Scott doesn't get involved, I'll be happy with that, but I know they're going to do something, whether it's an RKO at the end or the disqualification. Randy Orton most likely is going to get the last laugh, hopefully, at least, but, ever since Triple H has taken over, he loves having people lose in their hometown. He loves having friggin' Drew McIntyre continuously get screwed every single time they do Clash at the Castle. So he's definitely going to be very well giving John Cena this win. But so at the end of it, I think John Cena is going to retain the WWE Championship. And yeah, guys, that is going to be my WWE 2025 Backlash predictions. Obviously, I'll go through it one more time. Gunther, Lyra Valkyria, Jacob Fatu, John Cena, and Dominic Mysterio. And before we go to get this video, though, ended, guys, I just want to go ahead and say thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, comment your predictions down below. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching.